How's it going, Charlie? I love the show. I listen all the time. No joke. I've been listening to about 5 to 10 hours a week of conservative talk radio since the summer of 2008. Yeah, that's just as a fun. There was something going on the summer of 2008. I can't remember. This new lady was breaking out onto the scene, big conservative star. Is she still in the party? She was a governor of Alaska. I can't remember her name. Hold on. Sarah something. No. Anyway, no. My question is really quick. I'll be really brief. I would love it if you could just name 2 black Republican senators.
Well, there is one that I know of, Tim Scott.
Yeah. Can you name a second one?
I'm not sure there is a second. Maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong.
No, there's not. No, there's not.
Yeah,
no,
so it's
no.
a trick question.
Yeah.
How about this? Can you name me the only black Supreme Court justice? Actually, there's 2 of them.
Well, it's not a trick question. It's a question to try to prove a point. So other than Byron Donalds, can you name another black Republican congressperson?
Yeah, Wesley Hunt.
Okay. Do you know what the percentage of black Republican representation in the Republican side of Congress is? Do you know what that number is?
It's not very high.
It's not very high. No, it's about a fraction of a fraction of a single
hold on,
percent.
Okay, that's interesting.
No, but I'm curious because I've heard you in other videos. You say, what's the total black population of the United States?
It's
roughly
13%.
So 13 to 14% of the constituents are represented by 0.001% on your side. Now, I'm curious about this one. What's the percentage of the United States citizens who are Christian, who identify as Christian or Judeo-Christian?
Probably 50 to 55%.
What's the percentage of Christians who are Republican in Congress? Just curious. It's 100%.
well, hold on a second. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Hold on.
So
calm down. You've talked this entire
time.
time.
Representation matters to you.
Oh no, hold on. One second. How have the
you.
Democrats done overseeing the black community the last 40 years? Are they wealthier, richer, happier?
Everybody has made mistakes, bro.
No. Answer the question.
I'm answering. I just answered the question. There has been successes and there's been failures.
What success
but on
has
your side? Can I ask you this? Let me ask this question the other
way.
way.
What success?
So
exactly?
Tim Scott. This is the best way to do this. So I'm an alumni. I hope that's okay. Oregon State alumni. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Go Beavs. Go Beavs. I used to live in Bloss Hall. Anyone in Bloss Hall? Bloss Hall. Bloss Hall's all f***ed up. That's sad that it's not been changed. No. So. This is maybe the better question. So in 2022, Herschel Walker would have become the very first black Republican Senate candidate to win a primary and a general election to serve their first term in office. As you know, Tim Scott was actually appointed to fill a vacated seat.
And then won later.
Right, but he won as an incumbent. And what's the incumbency rate in Congress? Does anybody know that number? It's like 90-something, 96%, 97%. Incumbency.
No,
I'm just curious.
What,
do you know when Yeah, my question is, because it's not going to happen this cycle. What cycle do you think Republicans will nominate and elect their first black Republican senator to serve?
You know what's
in
interesting?
office?
I think skin color is irrelevant. Why do you care so much about it?
I just told you, buddy, it's not irrelevant because it doesn't matter to you.
No, it's interesting though. But you say representation. You know what? Stop it. The only representation that matters is values, not skin color.
Oh, values. Right, Christian values are important to you because 100% of Republicans in Congress represent Christian values.
Bingo.
Black values are not important to Republicans because 0.001% of your representation.
Tell me very slowly so I can understand. What are black values?
I'm talking about the values of different communities.
No, tell me what they are. Educate me on what black values are.
That's You're picking a stupid.
You know what black values are? They're Christian because they're one of the most Christian populations in the country. Yeah. That's what black values are.
How was the church during slavery? I'm curious. What did the church say about slavery?
Yeah,
they did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were a bunch of pastors.
Help me understand.
Yeah.
What is the difference between a white person and a black person?
We're getting off topic.
No, this is your topic, my friend. You know you're now starting to retreat a little bit because it's not going well.
I came out here to prove a point, which is that your side doesn't really want to involve itself in anything other than white Christian culture, and that's represented in the people that you bring to office.
Let me explain to me then, not just Wesley Hunt, but Anna Paulina Luna and the growing Republican Party and the Hispanic community.
Are any of them in any leadership positions on your committees? You guys do run a bunch of committees, right? I'm curious.
Yeah,
how many non-white, non-males are on Republican committees in Congress?
Well,
we got about 118 Congresses to pick from.
Quite a few, but
yeah.
The only distinction I will accept is the male-female distinction. I actually think that one matters because I think male-female distinctions are important. One the left does not believe in. But I want you to
tell... From the Bible, right? Yeah.
Well, it's also biology, you know, like XX,
no,
XY chromosomes.
Yeah,
you know.
Right.
You do believe in male-female distinctions,
well,
right?
I'm talking about. I love that you have to retreat to like the biblical male-female.
I actually
get it.
I didn't. You can see XXXY in your
Science.
in your blood work, actually.
How did we get on this topic again?
Because I'm talking about distinctions. Yeah. So I want you to tell me, though, you say that the Republican Party is underrepresenting Black America.
Well, not just Black America, it's many other
but
I'm saying they're overrepresenting white Christian culture, and that matters because it shows that that's what your value set is. I don't believe that you have value sets for non-white,
What is
cultures.
white Christian culture? Tell me what that is.
You drip it in the morning when you get out of the shower, bro. Like, what are you like hating women, hating different people, and
How do I hate women exactly? Tell me how I hate women.
Sir, I've listened to several hours of your programming a week.
Give me one example.
You're incredibly misogynistic.
Give me a second example.
Yeah. Again, can you
give me a third example?
Can you name any women that are on any leadership positions anywhere on the Republican side of Congress?
Yes, Senator from Mississippi. Senator Lummis from Wyoming is on a leadership committee.
Senator Lummis from Wyoming. Yeah, that's a.
Yes.
Also, when was the last time he had like?
Hold on a second. Yeah. Also, Senator Katie Britt gave the response to the State of the Union address, and
she did a great job on that one, guys. You guys remember that? That was
okay.
Hilarious.
No, but tell me, you came after.
We are suffering.
Okay, so tell me very. Very clearly, though.
Yeah.
You said that I hate women and I'm misogynistic.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example?
I can't. I don't have a specific example right now.
Because it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. I think it
because
does.
You're making it up.
I got you earlier though, and I love you, my friend.
But tell me your evidence.
I'm going to move it on to the next person.
Can you tell me your evidence?
A lot of people lined up. You have a wonderful
Final
day,
question.
Buddy.
Are you voting for Kamala Harris?
I'm voting not Trump.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your service, Ms. Gabbard, for anything. I just have one question related to the election for you. How can you endorse someone who lost the last election fair and square? There's no evidence.
Let him finish, guys.
Republican secretaries of state claimed it was fair. Trump tried to leverage the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. He said, find me 11,700 votes. He has no respect for losing in our system. And what happened on January 6th happened on January 6th. A disaster. Our capital got stormed for the first time since 1812. You people claim to love America. Like, how does that not fire you up?
You're brainwashed.
All right, so let's. It's a fair question. So let's talk through a couple elements of this. First, do you think the CIA should involve itself in American elections?
No.
Okay, so it did in 2020.
Show me proof.
Okay, well, Tulsi Gabbard knows this. She could tell you. 50 intel officials colluded, led by Tony Blinken, due to declassified emails, signing an open letter calling the Hunter Biden laptop Russian.
So why weren't any of the lawsuits
let me
successful?
Finish. I did not. Hold on.
He raised plenty of them.
Hold on a second. I didn't interrupt you, right? So let me finish. 50 intel officials, current and former, signed a letter that was used to censor on social media the fact that there is a laptop owned by Hunter Biden that showed very suspicious and criminal activity by both Hunter and Joe Biden. According to the Media Research Center, 1 out of 4 voters in swing states would have changed their vote if they would have known about the Hunter Biden laptop.
That's an utter ridiculous statement to make.
I just cited it.
He lost by 7 million votes.
Well, hold on. No. He lost by
42,000
votes across 3 states. Hold on, pal. How much did he lose Arizona by?
Okay.
No. Hold on. How much did he lose this state by?
It's not about the final score. It's
10?
a winner and a loser.
No, hold on.
He lost.
No,
that's how our system works.
We have an electoral college system.
Yeah.
So
who got the electoral votes?
No, of course Biden did. But what was the margin in Arizona?
I don't know.
It was
It's
10,000
not in
votes.
the back of my head.
Yeah, so how much in Georgia?
It was 11,700. That's
Yeah,
what they told
okay,
Raffensperger to find
and
them.
in Wisconsin, it was
A Republican
Let
who
me
denounces
finish.
them.
And in Wisconsin, it was 21,000, right? So it was actually 42,000, not 7 million. So when you're talking about the CIA and the Department of Justice signing a letter that was then used to, I did not have my Twitter account for 30 days. We were not allowed to mention the Hunter Biden
Because
laptop.
you violated a private company's privacy.
Well, no,
like,
actually, I
own
didn't.
guidelines.
It's actually
yes, you did.
no, because of the Twitter files, thanks to Elon Musk, we now know the FBI told Twitter to say you are not allowed to mention the Hunter Biden laptop. Am I correct in this, Tulsi?
That's correct.
And
So you don't trust the FBI at all?
Well,
People who
not
have
at all.
devoted
No.
their life to civil service.
That's a red herring. I'm saying in that instance, Yoel Roth. Do you know who Yoel Roth was?
I don't know
Yeah,
who Yoel
okay.
Roth
Yoel
is.
Roth was the head of security, trust, and safety for Twitter that had a what's called a standing room meeting every Tuesday with the Federal Bureau of Investigation in San Francisco, where they met about Russian threats to American interference of elections, and they said this laptop is not allowed to be discussed on your platform. That impacted our election. People made their decisions differently in 2020, not knowing the full picture that this laptop existed, and that was the October surprise. So you would agree that
What?
that's not a fair
You think
election.
the laptop would have flipped the election for him?
Well, we're talking about 42,000 votes in 3 states, and I already cited a study that 1 in 4 swing voters would
a
have changed
study by who?
the media research
Clarence
center.
Thomas's Winnebago buyer? Like, who funds these?
I just said by the independent, nonpartisan media research center, where they said 1 out of 4 voters would have changed their opinion. So I just want to make sure we're clear, though. You agree our government should not interfere with our elections.
Well, they have to regulate them by nature. That's the states have to.
Well, no, hold on.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have an election because you need rules
I
and
said
a judge.
interfere. So should the federal government be able to restrict our speech during elections?
Well, when you have what happened in 2016, where Russian disinformation spreads all over Facebook and other platforms, then you have.
So wait,
It was not a lie.
Who is-
It was not a lie.
it,
Read the Mueller report. Another Republican.
you realize
respected.
the Mueller report found that there was no tangible collusion between Donald Trump or the Russian Federation.
It wasn't about, but
hold
it
on.
wasn't
I-
just a collusion thing. It's
I-
a 430-page report.
I
He
want to
talks
try to
about,
find common ground here, okay? I want to try to find common ground. Can we agree that 2020 was decided by very few votes?
No,
Fo-
because it wasn't.
Well, 42,000 votes is very few, right?
No,
So what is the percentage of 42,000?
it's not about. George Bush and Al Gore were as close as ever in 2000. Al Gore conceded, said, "You know what? I
okay, but
lost.
that-
There might be a challenge."
Hold on, but
because
that-
he cared about the good of the country.
You know, Al
He
Gore
did.
brought it all the way up to the Supreme Court, man, and he said that Bush was not the duly elected president.
And he could have gone further because
How do you go further than
Sup-
the Supreme Court?
The Supreme Court sent it back to judgment in the Florida State Supreme Court again, and Gore said, "No, I'm not doing that. Just move on. Bush is the president for the good of the country." Because
Yeah,
people
but-
used to care about our country.
No, and of course. So are you trying to imply Trump doesn't care about the country?
Yes, that's absolutely what I'm implying. You think he sits in his gold room in Trump Tower and thinks, "Oh, how can I make things better for everyday
so-
Joe?"
So let me ask one thing, and I'd love to have Tulsi. Just help me understand. So his business empire has been taken away from him. He's facing
Yeah, because he broke the law.
Can I finish my thought? He's facing 700 years in federal prison. He's been shot once with multiple assassination attempts. Why keep running for president if he doesn't love the country?
Because 100 years from now in a history textbook, it's going to say Donald Trump's name, and that's what motivates narcissists.
Look, I will say this. I hope you do some research because
I've done my research. You need to do your research.
Look, I will say this as kindly as I can. One day I hope you open your eyes because you've been significantly brainwashed on this topic. And I guess the final question I'll ask is this. If Donald Trump wins in 3 weeks, will you accept that as a legitimate result?
Yes.
Okay, I'll hold you
That's
to
the
that.
difference between me and you.
Okay, did Trump win in 2016?
Yes.
But you said that Russian interfered.
Russian interference had a role in the election, but Trump won fair and square. He had more votes and more. And notice
which
how
one is it
Hillary supporters didn't storm the
Well, no,
Capitol.
hold on. Hillary never conceded.
Yes, she did.
No, hold on.
She had a concession speech the day after the election. I watched it in middle
Hillary
school.
Clinton said Donald Trump was not the legitimate president of the United States.
That's one milked clip that is played all over the internet. Yeah, she had a concession speech. When's the Trump concession speech in 2020? Show it to me.
Let me ask one more question. Are you voting for Kamala Harris?
Yes, I am, proudly.
What's her greatest accomplishment?
Her greatest accomplishment? I would say that she's going to legalize marijuana federally, something that's been overdue by 100 years.
Thank you.
She said it.
Hi. How are you? So earlier, I heard you call Washington a den of thieves, which I fully agree with. Keep in mind, I'm going to preface that immediately. Don't agree with Democrats. However, I want to know from you, and I want to get your opinion on, why is Donald Trump any different from all the other thieves that are in Washington right now, looting and pillaging the earnings of the working class?
It's a good question. First of all, he cut your taxes. Number two, he made it easier for you to own a home. Number three, we had no new wars, which I'm sure you care about. So this is important. He actually starved the beast of the military-industrial complex.
Starved it? Really?
Yeah. Did Russia invade Ukraine?
Yeah, they did.
Under Trump?
No, but they were probably going to do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
They've had a very big blood and soil thing going on in Russian politics
but hold
for a
on.
while
No, this is
now.
important. Let's talk about this logically.
It was kind of coming.
So under Bush, Russia takes Georgia. Under Obama, Russia takes Crimea. Under Biden, Russia takes the Donbass. Why is it that they didn't do anything for 4 years under Trump? I thought he was a Russian agent.
Well, I don't agree that he's a Russian agent.
No, for sure. I'm just being sarcastic, saying, why is it for 4 years Russia stopped all of their incursions when under Bush, Obama, and Biden, it was a all-you-can-eat buffet in the Russian hemisphere?
Probably something relating to Russian politics. I'm not sure.
Okay, no, but this is the point, is that the answer is that Trump was a peace president, unlike the den of thieves that are currently running this country.
I don't know if I would call a peace president someone who drops a Moab to kill terrorists in, where was it? It was ISIS, I believe, right? He just dropped a Moab on that motherfucker. Which is pretty cool. Keep in mind.
No, I mean, I do want to ask a question. What is a terrorist?
A terrorist is someone who, well, commits terrorist acts, bombings, shootings.
Sure.
Let's see, what else?
So should those people be...
Well, if they're threatening the life of their fellow countrymen, then probably, yeah.
Okay, so we have no moral difference on that.
No, but I think it's interesting that you call him a peace president when he does that. You excuse this military action and call him a peace president, even though... I'm not saying that the target was not justified, keep in mind.
Fair enough. No, but again, he did not start a new conventional ground war where every president in the last 40 years, including Reagan, has. That's very noteworthy. And so you asked the question, what makes Trump different? I'll tell you one thing, which I think is important. If Trump was like all the rest of them, they would not have impeached him twice, indicted him 4 times, and he would not have to survive the assassination attempts that he has. There's something different about Trump because he threatens to expose and uproot the entire cabal and the cartel that has been making everybody in this audience poorer and them richer.
The same cabal that allowed him to become a billionaire?
Well, him becoming a billionaire was building great hotels and buildings. Not
right, off of the loan from his father.
Right, yeah, okay. And it's also, I mean, this is interesting. People criticize the loan. If I gave you $1 million, could you turn it into $5 billion?
Probably not.
So it's pretty talented for Trump to turn $1 million into $5 billion, yeah?
Well, when you come from a dynasty of businessmen, it's kind of expected you pick it up.
Okay, Okay, I'm not going to even get into that. Easy to minimize the success of entrepreneurs when people have built nothing in their life. So, what would convince you that he is What would you, if you say, I'm now convinced that he's for me, what would that be?
Well, Well, if I wanted him to be for me, I would probably want him to make college free. I think it's ridiculous that we have to pay for a higher education in the first place.
So wait, hold on. Yeah. Guys, it's really,
You asked me. You asked me.
No. I'm not making fun. I'm trying to calm down the crowd, actually. I'm
trying.
trying to. So by free, you mean that somebody else pays for your college?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, got it. So let's just play this out. I didn't go to college.
Okay.
You're in college. Why should I have to pay more in taxes so you go to college? Make the argument.
Civic duty. I would say that being able to fund the education, the higher education rather, of more people, especially in a modern economy, which is so digitized, things like computers are becoming
What are you
incredibly
studying?
important. I'm currently studying psychology.
Got it. No, it's incredibly interesting because basically what you're saying is those of you that work harder and produce more, you must fork over by force to those that do not work as hard. Yeah?
Would you rather they just keep all their money? CEOs, billionaires, they just don't pay taxes at all?
I think a reduction of taxes. We already pay I'm part of the 1%. We already pay a majority of the taxes in this country, vast majority of the taxes. And so what would I prefer? I'd prefer that more people keep your own hard-earned money and the government shrinks dramatically in its size because that increases liberty and freedom. Let me tell you what's going to happen, though. It's easy to pick on people like me. One day I'm paying 50%, soon it will be 60%, then it'll be 70%, and then they'll come for you because eventually I'm going to run out of money. And you can laugh and chuckle, but eventually they're going to come for the working class and the middle class. They already are.
They've already come for the working class.
Yeah,
that
but you
has
know
not
why?
changed.
Yeah, because the reservoir is getting dry. Is that eventually...
Right, yes, the reservoir is getting dry.
It's easy to roll...
And they don't just want to, fund more of their doomed programs.
It's easy to roll your eyes, and it's easy to criticize rich people, of which I'm very blessed, and that's fine. But have you ever gotten a job from a poor person?
Sorry, a job from a poor person? They usually create jobs. They
Yeah,
work
bingo.
them.
Rich people create jobs with the money that isn't taxed by the government.
Doesn't have to be a rich person. It could be the government.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait.
It could be the government. They can make work programs,
Yeah,
things
the
like
government
that.
only creates jobs with the wealth that they extract from the citizenry. The government does not create wealth. The government extracts it by definition.
Yes.
So therefore, what I'm saying is that if everyone here wants jobs, it's easy to pick on people like me. It's easy to say, you got to pay more, you got to do more. What is hard is actually to have a mature argument rooted in liberty saying, you can earn a vast majority of what you can keep a vast majority of what you earn, and that we're going to increase freedom and liberty so that you can actually one day be in the 1%.
Yeah, but when you talk about small government, like what programs will have to be sacrificed? Will it have to be food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid,
Well, how about one we
child
can
tax
agree
credits?
with? Sending money to Ukraine.
Sending money to Ukraine?
We should
Yeah,
stop sending. $200 billion should not be sent to Ukraine.
Yeah, I don't really agree with imperialist wars.
I agree. So there we agree with something.
Of course.
Yeah, there's tons of duplication, waste, fraud, and abuse. We have trillions of dollars unnecessary spending. You're coming after this in a really good perspective and a good faith argument, and I respect that. My closing argument this will be this, which is that a small amount of entrepreneurs make the world a better place. It is so tempting to be filled with envy, as we call in the Christian tradition, covetousness, which is the 10th commandment. I'm not saying you're a Christian. I'm just saying in the Christian tradition, we believe it, to say, you shouldn't have that. I'm going to take that from you. What is hard but actually makes society better is to restrain yourself and say, when you see a big house, don't say, I don't think anybody should live like this. Instead say, I want everybody to live like this. And that is a totally different perspective.
But didn't Jesus also say, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's?
No, for sure. I'm not saying I'm not going to pay taxes. That's a different argument, right? So he was talking about pay your taxes if the government issues you a tax bill, of which I do. I also have the right, given by the country and also biblical principles, to protest that and to speak against it, because then you become a subject to the state. So last question, do you trust the government?
Absolutely not.
We agree. So then if you don't trust the government, shouldn't we stop sending so much money to the government?
Well, I prefer if we just had a completely different political framework in the first place.
Fair enough. But I think we can agree that
Oh, come
It's
on.
okay.
I like
Be
my
nice.
hair.
Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. We're trying
I think
to be
it's
respectful.
rather nice. I use a lot of product.
I
in this
like
thing
it. It's
now.
good.
Thank you. At least someone agrees.
All right, but here's what I'll say. You've come after this in good faith. We agree. We agree. You don't trust the government. You want a different political framework. My perspective is, therefore, if you don't trust the government, let's stop sending it so much of our hard-earned money. Thank you so much. I got to get the next question. Thank you.